Gambit was officially revealed to be a strategist, thank Galacta, and based on his abilities, Remy might be the best designed strategist Marvel Rivals has put out so far. What did you do, Rag Nation? Gambit is the first hero arriving in Season 5, and he brings a much needed healer to the roster that can help his team in more ways than pressing the heal button. He can do major damage to the enemies and has some insane abilities that will change the meta. I'll break down Gambit's gameplay, what his skills are, and how you should play him to get the most value for your team. First, Hulk smash that hype button so YouTube shares the guide, and let's get it.
Make way for the king of teams. Désolé.
So Gambit is a 275 HP strategist, which is great for survivability. And as we see, he's got a ton of different abilities. As expected, his primary attack is throwing cards. He throws 3 cards at once and they explode on impact, dealing damage to enemies and healing allies. He has an ammo count of 21. Gambit also has a resource visualized by a row of 4 cards, similar to characters like Daredevil, Phoenix, and Angela that he can draw from to get new abilities. In this first fight, he's supporting Magneto in a 1v1 with Emma Frost. Suddenly, Magic dashes in to target Gambit, and we see already one way the devs listen to feedback from the players. Gambit is a strategist that can actually fight back when being dove. After Gambit is attacked, he uses his right-click ability, which has 2 charges on it. This causes Gambit to pull out his bow staff and do a ground slam, dealing damage all around him and providing a burst of healing for himself and Magneto that increases Gambit's HP by 63. So doing that twice in a row would mean Gambit can burst heal for 120 HP while doing AoE damage if a diver targets him or another support. That's extremely powerful. In the next fight, we see Gambit has another feature players have wanted from their strategists, especially Adam Warlock players.
Lucky draw.
Gambit uses his shift to quickly move to the side and dash in the direction he's aiming, which lets him reach high ground. And this ability has 2 charges on it. Incredible. Next, he pulls up a menu for 2 different abilities, similar to a skill Daredevil has. Also notice the red heart that appears above his health bar at the cost of 1 card resource. Gambit can now choose to flush with E or raise with F. He also has the option to target the Magneto on his team with an ability called Bridge Boost. Gambit chooses the boost, which puts both on a 1-second cooldown, and the ability costs 1 more resource. Gambit throws cards that hit his allies and gives them a burst of health, as well as a healing boost effect like what Dagger can do with her Veil of Light. Gambit then uses his second dash, which puts him on a very reasonable 10-second cooldown, and finishes off the fight with his shift to burst heal his teammates again and finish off Psylocke and Emma. The next fight, Gambit shows off an ability that immediately makes him an S-tier support character that you need to have on your team.
By the eye of Agamotto, King of Hearts.
Gambit spends 1 resource to go back into his Hearts mode and starts healing himself passively at an extremely fast rate, much better than what Mantis can do for herself when she does a boost. He continues to throw cards without activating Flush or Raise yet, but then Doctor Strange catches his team with the Eye of Agamotto, stunning them. But fortunately, Gambit has a counter. He uses his shift to dash and cancels with his right click to perform a spinning dash that leaves an explosion trail in his path and gets him close to his teammates while healing him to nearly full health. Then Gambit uses Raise instead of Bridge Boost, which sends out a huge AoE burst of cards and energy that reloads his ammo, gives his team a burst of health, and more importantly, erases the effect of the Doctor Strange ultimate. Gambit might be the first true strategist on the roster. Not only can he heal, but he has an ability with a very small cost that lets him remove status effects from his teammates while healing them. I can't stress enough how incredible this ability is. But Gambit has another skill that is arguably just as powerful, if not better.
Shuffle up. A deadly deal.
That's right, Gambit has a DPS mode. Hearts is the healing mode, but this new one is Spades based on the symbol. He has the option to raise or flush and presses F to flush and sends out a wave of cards that explode on the enemy team and launch them into the air. Then he does the movement tech to spin dash to the point and activates flush again. Then animation cancels it into the raise. The raise is the E and it has a 6-second cooldown. It's subtle, but if you look closely, the enemy team now has blue around their health bar. That means Gambit has an anti-heal, just like Blade and Namor when teamed up with Hela. So now the enemy team will get reduced healing for as long as the effect lasts. And unfortunately for them, they have a Luna Snow instead of another Gambit, so they can't cancel the effect and just lose the fight instead. But the devs weren't done cooking yet. They also gave Gambit a unique ultimate that isn't just another healing circle.
Gambit never falls! High caliber.
So when Gambit wants to activate it, you target specific teammates and it asks you to confirm. We immediately see the burst of light from when he erased the effects of the Doctor Strange ultimate, so this seems to have the same purifying effect. They also immediately get both passive HP and a healing boost. But there's more. They move faster and even get a jump boost, as we see Punisher can suddenly jump higher than Michael Jordan and is able to launch himself over Groot's wall. We also see from Punisher's perspective that his attacks are now enhanced with kinetic energy and explode to do additional damage, which is a pretty crazy combination to give Punisher. Gambit doesn't seem to get any reduction to his cooldowns or extra resources, but this is still a really strong ultimate.
Got a full deck. Allons-y. Gambit never falls! High caliber. Cajun style.
I already know Gambit is going to be a hero that high skill players are going to fall in love with because there is so much room for skill expression. Gambit seems to legit have an ability arc hard for every situation and is going to reward players who make good decisions and can manage resources. Because of his great range, you should start further away from the action since most of your best abilities can be activated from pretty far away. But look for opportunities when your team is pushing up to help them brawl by using your right click. Also look to test the range of the anti-heal because you're going to want to use that pretty much whenever it's active and usually to target the enemy tank. But the cool thing about Gambit is he also has the tools to flank in a 3 support lineup because of his Spades mode and movement abilities. So don't just stand behind your team shooting, look for opportunities to take a different angle and target the enemy healers too. We'll have to see what his numbers look like in early access, but I'm confident Gambit is going to be a top tier support character from day one, even stronger than Invisible Woman when she first came out. There's still a lot more Marvel Rivals news to look forward to, which I'll link when it's available. And we also got the season 5 story trailer this morning, which is full of Easter eggs and exciting reveals for what's coming beyond season 5. Click the video on screen to learn more. And a huge shout out to everyone supporting me on Patreon. Join for free so you never miss an update.